And also, there's another character who was supposed to get his power named Mirio, who is just a better character, better than Deku in every way possible. He's just cooler. We just like him more. You cannot say that you like Deku more than Mirio because you're wrong. It is not subjective. It's objective.
So this has turned into a shitting on Deku episode.
Yeah, it's because he chose the bitch baby.
This is a Valiant Star podcast. Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Germans.
Gemini.
I'm going with it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Nerds Be Like, episode 98. And as always, my name is Brandon. We got Dan in here. We got Lenny. We got Eric. And we got Antonio.
You're gross.
That's beautiful, right?
For calling me that.
Before we begin, make sure if you're on YouTube, ring that bell, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and in the link below we got a community Discord. It's always lively every single day now. It's very lit. Come in here, we chat with you. All things Marvel, Star Wars, blah blah blah. All that. Yeah, you know that. Yeah.
Just so you know, you didn't introduce the.
I'm gonna do the topic after this one, and then yeah.
I'll be the topic.
And for episode 98, aka today's topic, if you didn't know, if you weren't listening, we are gonna talk about good and bad mentors. Throughout all the spectrum, anime, movies, TV shows, etc.
All of them, blah blah blahs.
Yeah. And with that, we are going straight into lightning.
Okay, let's go into lightning. So it's a little crowded in lightning and straight up, but we're going to go through it fast because we did have Nintendo Direct for straight up, and we're going to go straight through it for lightning. All right, so Rob Zombie, the director of the rebooted Halloweens, what was it, 2007, 2009, something like that, will direct The Munsters as his next film franchise. So weird. The Munsters. It was a show.
Oh, that's the That's the one like the Frankenstein and his family.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's weird that's his next.
Is Halloween the Michael Myers? That
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The white trash version. But I mean, that's what it's called. Like, I'm not just making that up. That's what it's called. Like, that's what it is.
What people are saying, basically.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch it, you understand why. I liked it. I love it. I think they're good, but whatever. All right, next. WV has revealed some of the cast for DC League of Super Pets, and they have announced that John Krasinski is going to be in there, Keanu Reeves, Kate McKinnon, Vanessa Bayer, Natasha
Leon.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird to me. Natasha Lyonne, Diego Luna, and starring Dwayne Johnson as Crypto the Superdog and Kevin Hart as Ace the Bat Hound, as I called because
yeah,
I'm a god among men, and I just roll that way,
This is back in because the Princess Mononoke episode.
Yeah,
we talked about the Super Pets.
Do we know who
jokingly was talking about that? Was that?
Do we know who everyone else is playing?
No. I totally know.
Honestly, not John Wick.
Basically,
Keanu Reeves could definitely be. I feel like he'd definitely be a good choice for Ace the Bat Hound. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
he's very serious, and he voiced an animal before too.
Yeah, I mean they all have. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I want to see what they do with Kevin Hart. I just want to know.
This is your fault.
It's Ace the Bat Hound. Like, come on.
It's very, very interesting how that's gonna work.
Exactly. Like, it's Batman's dog. Come on. How's it gonna look? All right, next. More WB stuff. James Wan has revealed that the title for his Aquaman sequel is Aquaman and the Last Kingdom, I believe. I want to say Lost, but it's not. It's Aquaman and the Last Kingdom.
That makes sense too.
Yeah. So yes, we're excited. Oh my god, I love James Wan. God Among Men too. All right, next.
I think hold on. I think it is the Lost Kingdom.
I don't know. It probably like autocorrected
I
for me.
think it is.
A lot more sense if it's Lost, not Last.
I don't know. Hold on, let me see.
Last don't really make sense
For a sequel too. It'd be fine if it's like the end of a trilogy.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Is it Lost?
but also like
It's Lost, yeah.
All right, Lost Kingdom. That's why I looked at it like Lost or Last. I don't know. It probably corrected, I guess, and I went with it. It's fine. All right. Next, more WB news. They announced that the Blue Beetle movie starring Jaime Reyes and the Batgirl film will both be HBO Max exclusives. No theater run, but I don't know where that falls in their multiverse, what it's connected to.
At this point, I feel like it'd just be whatever.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to connect
whatever.
to each other, if anything.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter at this point. As long as they're good, I mean, I'm okay with it.
I have high hopes for the Blue Beetle, honestly.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
And
Like you say,
Batgirl.
Watching
Yeah,
Cartel growing up and then seeing him in Young Justice, like, I have high hopes.
Yeah. Can't wait.
I like the Brave and the Bold version.
Yeah, that one was lit.
All right.
All right. Next.
Oh, shit.
We're going to move over to Marvel for a little bit. Tom Hiddleston confirmed that he will not be in Thor Love and Thunder, and I thought that was newsworthy because it's a sad day that we figured that out, but we will get a version of Loki with Matt Damon going to be in there again, so it's fine. We'll get our fix. I'm okay with it.
honestly, as long as Loki gets a season 2, that's all that matters.
He is.
You know what would be really funny if like the next season of no, he I think it is confirmed that it's another season.
Yeah.
But like it'd be funny if like the next season starts with like the recap, but it's Matt Damon.
That'd be great. I'm okay with it. Just keep it going.
Yeah.
All right. Next, the Disney Plus series Ironheart is set to start filming April of 2022. Yeah. I mean, that's not too far off considering they're
that's
filming stuff back to back to back to back. Like, something's always filming for them. So, I mean, it's cool. It's fine. Next, Jamil has joined the She-Hulk series as Titania. True.
Tanya.
Nope. Not
Tanya?
saying that again. Yep. She is going to be, I'm assuming, the antagonist in She-Hulk. So we'll see. I say antagonist and not villain because Marvel's getting real gray areas with their villains.
Good villain.
All these female villains for Phase 4, I'm loving. It's fine for me. I'm okay with it. Yeah, I love to see a woman in power. Next, Park Seo Joon. I'm bad at these names.
Yeah,
I think that's right.
Has joined Marvel Studios, The Marvels, which is the Captain Marvel 2 sequel, and his role is currently unknown. I think people are freaking out over this because he was in Parasite, and he's like a real like indie movie over there. Indie movie person.
That's actually really cool then.
He's been in a lot of stuff, which is not stuff that we've heard of.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's where is it?
It's a South Korean actor.
Yeah, so he's getting a lot of traction, and with him being in a Marvel movie, that's the next step to putting your career on the right path. So excited, want to see what they do with him. I'm okay with it. Captain Marvel, I'm okay with it. I got faith in Nia DaCosta. Candyman coming soon. Oh God, August. All right, next we're gonna go over to a little bit of Star Wars. So, Forrest Whitaker has stated that he will return as Saw Gerrera in the Disney Plus original series Andor.
He's just been coming back like for like
I love
the
it.
longest time.
I love it.
Like 5 years.
I love him as Saul.
Yeah, I love Forrest Whitaker. It's fine.
He was in Rogue One. He was in Fallen Order. He's coming back for this.
He was in the cartoon The Rebels.
Oh, that too.
Yep. Well, we know how it ends, so it really doesn't matter. All right, next.
Oh my God.
We will be getting our first look at the Star Wars anime anthology series, Star Wars Visions, during the Anime Expo on July 3rd. Yeah, so whatever that means, it's probably in the Star Wars universe, but different characters.
Yeah, I remember. Like, I was re-listening to some episodes. And I remember Tones was asking like who it was because it was very, very vague who they were teaming up for. So I guess we have to wait and see.
I mean, it's different, but it's gonna look beautiful no matter what. It's Star Wars and it's anime. Well, like studios and stuff like that. Whatever studio they went with.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And now our last thing, Netflix's live action Cowboy Bebop is set to release this year during the fall time. So
With no trailer so far.
nothing. Well, neither has Spider-Man, so we're not going to talk about that.
That's true. But that's in December.
This is fall. This could be the end. It could be what? November, for all you know.
That's true.
Anyway.
We'll get a first look at this before Spider-Man.
I don't know. I feel like something's going to leak for Spider-Man the way people are looking out for that. Yeah. So we'll judge this very harshly. I'm probably going to watch this with Antonio and Lenny. I'm not going to lie because...
That's if they watch it.
No, they're going to watch it. They're definitely going to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? And then me watching it's just a bonus. So we'll see.
I'm going to be so sad throughout the whole thing.
I know you are, but
I think you just get the music from it. That's it, right?
I mean, yeah, that's literally it. I mean, no, we're going to because the same composer is going to be part of it.
Define composer?
The composer, somebody who composes music for a OST.
Okay, heard that.
Oh my God.
This is for future reference.
I said OST, not album.
Future reference.
OST's original motion picture soundtrack.
It's fine. Next. That's the end for me. So.
All right, and now that is now me. As we stated before, straight up news is. Well, I think we said this last week that straight up news was just going to be the roundup for the rest of E3 that mattered to us, and by that I just mean the Nintendo Direct. So
this hadn't finished yet, right?
Yeah, so the Nintendo Direct happened on Tuesday, and obviously we record on Monday, so it didn't happen yet. So now we're talking about now.
Yeah.
So first thing that happened was Nintendo started off with the newest Smash DLC, which is Kazuya from Tekken. The most important thing about this is that he was just throwing people into lava, and the funniest part was that he threw Captain Falcon into lava, killing him even more than Nintendo already has. That's pretty much it for that. I'm not huge on Tekken, but I'm cool with this. It's fine.
I think I found my new main if I ever play Smash again.
I mean, he looks fun. He definitely looks like he costs $5.99.
I think he stun walks as well, which is scary.
I mean, he literally just looks like you're playing Tekken and Smash.
I just like the fucking montage of him just throwing people off the cliff. Like it's just like those cuts and there's like something. Was that from Splatoon?
Which one?
No,
the
one with
not
the
Splatoon.
arms. Yeah,
the arms.
Arms. Yeah, arms nice.
Yeah,
Arms nice.
that was like the arm got caught, cut in his leg. It was really funny.
Every time I think of arms, I just think of like how good everything about it is, except for the actual gameplay. Like the music is. I love the music. The music is so good. The characters just are like designed really well. But God, the game sucks. But yeah.
Oh yeah, and Kirby. That's also
yeah. Kirby just well, that's Sakurai's baby, so he's not gonna kill Kirby. That's why you start. That's why everybody dies at the beginning of Smash Ultimate except for Kirby. Not Mario. Kirby lives.
I remember seeing it too. It's like, wow, I can't believe this is an actual frame from a trailer. That's
like every Smash trailer though. Luigi died in the Simon release one, or the Belmont's release one, so it's fine.
Yeah, they probably just get murdered.
That was great. All right.
I'll put it in the video.
Up
Cool.
next
All right.
is the announcement of Metroid Dread, which is going to be coming out October 8th, alongside amiibos of the newly designed Samus and the enemy type EMMI, which I don't know what it stands for. But this is pretty much what's meant to hold us over until Metroid Prime 4 comes out, which was already announced last Direct. I mean, yeah, it's a 2D Metroid game. I'm excited. It looks fun. It looks like a more horror driven
Oh yeah.
Metroid game, where it's going to be a lot of like chase sequences. So it just looks good.
No, that
That's, like, all I
scorpion
can
looking
say.
thing.
Yeah. It literally just there's nothing else to say. It just looks good.
Yeah.
Like I'm probably gonna get it. Yeah. After that, we got the announcement for WarioWare Get It Together coming September 10th. Which, if you don't know what WarioWare is, it's like the same essence as Mario Party, as it's a collection of mini games, but instead of like playing against people for the most part, you're like, it's either you play against them or with them, and you're not actually like trying to win a board. You're just trying to win as many mini games. So it's more emphasis on the mini games rather than the whole like board game aspect.
Oh.
And obviously Wario is the main character, and it's all his side characters.
I don't recognize
cool.
anyone from
Cool.
here.
I mean, you wouldn't know any of them unless you played WarioWare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But WarioWare's, they're fun games. I like them. They're definitely good time wasters. And then yeah, so after that we got the announcement of Shin Megami Tensei 5, aka the parent series to Persona, but everyone knows Persona now, so it's Persona but without the dating sim aspect.
Oh.
This game is coming out on November 12th, and I love how the main character looks so much. The character design is so good, and I'm gonna get this game just for that. No, everything about him. It's like, I love the fact that it's definitely a guy, but it looks so feminine, and I'm glad that there's like this like neutrality to it. It's gonna be a good game.
You're definitely gonna get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Whether I beat it or not is another question. I can actually sit down and do that. But yeah. That's Shin Megami Tensei 5. Then we got the announcement of Advance Wars 1 and 2 being remade for the Switch, which is coming December 3rd. And Advance Wars, for those who don't know, is like the kind of the father of tactical RPGs. So if anybody knows how Fire Emblem was played, it's like what birthed that sort of gameplay, where you have a bunch of units and you have to position them properly and try to get it to the most advantageous position as possible. But it just looks like really cute. Like it just like looks well like redone, because obviously these are games that were originally on like the NES and the SNES, so completely overhauled as far as that goes.
Oh, they're remakes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was trying to look up the trailer because the link doesn't work anymore.
I fucking hate YouTube sometimes. And then I'm just gonna group these last two together because I did this before Nintendo actually announced what they were really gonna do. So Nintendo decided to psych us out by first announcing that Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Age of Calamity, aka the Dynasty Warriors game, is getting DLC, which actually came out already. But then they're like, okay, we're not going to be assholes anymore, and they gave us our first looks at the Breath of the Wild sequel, which is will be coming in 2022. And this one has more emphasis on like sky exploration, and it's also seemed to be like a time manipulation mechanic, and also just like going through fucking like floors and shit. I don't know how that's gonna work. No, it's like,
what do you mean?
Let me see. Oh,
I'm looking at the trailer.
49 seconds.
Oh, okay, like a Portal-ish.
Also, can I just say, I love when Link has long hair. So I love the fact that he's like even more raggedy than he was in the first game.
That's a good look for him.
It works really well. Also, they obviously show that his old armor is going to be in the game. So that's probably taking place like right after. I just hope there's more of a story in this game.
Yeah, because that was the main complaint of the first one. That you guys
Also,
told me
I
about.
really like the music in this trailer, especially like towards the end where it's like gets all distorted. I really hope that's what they go for as far as like areas like that where you have like either I don't know if it's Calamity Ganon still or it's like some sort of corruption. But the first game was all about just like despair and shit, and this game seems to be like that again. So I don't know what happened, but I'm excited to see.
Because this was delayed too, right?
No,
or they just didn't announce the.
They just didn't announce the release date.
Oh,
They just been quiet about it. They said before COVID
coming soon.
They said that they just started development of it before COVID.
Oh, okay.
And then we didn't get any news because they didn't have an actual direct until February. And they didn't really say anything. They said, "Hey, we're working on it. Here's other shit. Here's Skyward Sword remaster."
Actually, I'm excited to see what this one is because I never actually played the first one, but I really like the music and feel of the first one. So, yeah.
The first one is a really good tech demo.
Yeah, I think you said that once before.
It's not a great game, it's a great tech demo. It really shows off what the Switch is capable of, even while it's like undocked. And it shows what Zelda can be now. However, it can be really clunky at times. But I will say some puzzles are really fun to cheese. There's a lot of shit you can just do.
All right, so is that for news?
That is it for news.
All right. So, like Brandon mentioned up top, we're going to be talking about good versus bad mentor figures. I believe this was your idea, right, Tones?
Yeah.
Like you like I don't know how long ago you wrote it. Do you want to give the reason why you thought of this idea, or do you want to just go straight into it?
I'll talk about that when I get to mine.
All right. Deal. All right. Eric, you here? Or not?
That's good.
Maybe.
He's muted. Oh, you're here? Okay.
So before we start, I'm gonna say Dan's opinion does not matter. I'm gonna say it right now because he chose something really, 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 really close to me, and whatever he says is completely wrong. All right. For what?
All right.
Yeah,
So let's go. Let's get it started. So
great way to start.
First, we're going to start off with good mentors. I'm going to go down the list, and then we're going to go into bad mentors, which is going to be the opposite of this list down the line, like going through people. So, in case y'all didn't notice. All right. For good mentors, I chose God from Bruce Almighty, who is played by Morgan Freeman. And the reason why I chose God is because, so in this movie, there's a guy who I forget his name. He's played by Jim Carrey, though, and everything that goes wrong in his life. Oh yeah, Bruce. Fuck, shit, I'm an idiot. So, because I keep on thinking about Jim Carrey, I'm not even thinking about Bruce. So his name's Bruce. Don't know his last name. Don't care. So he everything bad that happens to him, he blames on God. Like he's constantly cursing God. He's like, "Thank you, God." Blah blah blah. All this other stuff. Bad stuff happens, and then God comes down, and he's like, "Oh, well, you think you could do my job better than me? Okay. When you leave from this place, which is like an abandoned warehouse, when you leave from this place, you will have all my powers and all my responsibilities." So boom, right off the rip, he's like, "Yeah, haha, I don't believe you. You're crazy, blah, blah," leaves. So on the way into the warehouse, he steps in a puddle, his like that goes up to like his kneecap. When he walks out, he steps in the same puddle, but he walks on the puddle, and he's like, nah, I didn't just do that, and just keeps going. So what it is, basically, throughout the first day, all this starts happening, blah, blah. He's going crazy. He hears prayers. He does all that stuff. I thought if you haven't seen this, spoiler warnings, but this movie's kind of old, like kind 2004 old.
Yeah.
So like you had like 20 years almost. So
It had a sequel too.
So, well, yeah, that
Evan,
was
Evan
trash.
wasn't that good as Bruce.
That one's trash. I don't even want to talk about it. So, when after the first day of all this going through, God comes down. He's like, "What do you think?" He's like, "Well, your job's kind of hard, but like, I think I can do it." He's like, "Okay." He gives him rules and stuff like what he can do, what he can't do. And then he starts taking advantage and getting what he wants. And he's I want to say a newscaster, one of the person that like reports live.
Yeah.
So he uses his powers and everything to get stories and makes like goes up in the world and stuff like that. Then I think it starts getting like a little bit too much to where Bruce starts hearing prayers and he starts getting overwhelmed and all that stuff. And then God comes down. He's like, "See, my job isn't that hard. Well, you need to do it this way, do it that way," telling him certain things. And then by the end of the movie, he's like, "Well, you really have a big responsibility. I can't believe you do this and all that." He's like, "Well, like, what'd you think it was going to happen?" So he does give him advice. He tells him about his life. But the fact that he's played by Morgan Freeman is great, because I think in my lifetime, I don't want to make this like a religion thing, but God is black. Or a race thing. You don't see a black God anywhere up until like the time this movie came out. I'm not gonna lie to you. So the fact that like one of my, besides Passion of the Christ, which I don't want to talk about, one of my first times seeing God on TV, he was black.
Morgan Freeman. Yeah.
It was Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman, out of all people.
I don't, you know what I mean? Like I thought that it was really cool because he has the voice and everything like you would expect. So, and he was funny. Like when he was doing, what was the clapper? When he was clapping on and off to make the lights go off, and then Bruce tries to do it and it doesn't happen because Morgan Freeman is God. So I just thought it was hilarious, and he really talked him through some stuff and all that and helped him realize that God doesn't control his life all the time, that he gives him free will and things like that. God, this is in parallels because I just finished watching Lucifer, so it's like a lot of stuff going on. It's like it's so weird, but yeah.
There's also that good cafe scene. It just I like how he just appears out of nowhere.
Yeah, he just sits there and he's like.
He's like, it's
"Hi."
like,
why?
the camera
Shit.
moves.
Yeah.
The only
great.
scene I remember from that movie
The
is
sex
when
scenes.
he's getting jumped in the alley by the by
the
the
monkey?
gang. Yeah, and
By
the monkey
Hector
was
from
up that
Fast
dude's
and
butt.
Furious?
Yeah, Hector.
Oh my God.
He plays Hector and everything.
Literally.
Not the first time he's come up in the podcast, and it won't be
Really?
the last. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been re-listening to shit, so I definitely heard that before.
Because Fast and Furious 9 comes out in like 4 days right now. As of right
Yeah,
now.
Mr. Anything
That's
comes
up to
gonna
date.
be in there.
Yeah. Okay.
There's gonna be in chase with his own car.
If it's not called Hector's driving 3 Honda Civics with spoon
If
engines,
Hector
I'm
doesn't
not
get his
watching-
own spin-off.
I'm not watching the rest. No, but yeah, that's it.
All right. Pretty good. All right, Lenny.
Okay. Mine is Master Roshi from Dragon Ball, and I did Dragon Ball Super instead of Z because Roshi was not prominent, if even in Z. So I did Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Super. Roshi, to me, is a really good mentor because if you look at the history, it's gonna be weird, man. Talking about Goku again, it's Dragon Ball. But looking at Goku's history and what he's done, he rivals gods, as one can say. But he couldn't have gotten that far if he didn't have the basics that he got from Roshi. So I put Roshi on here because of what he learned from his basic martial arts to his control over ki and manipulation of ki. in order to get to where he is now. And then I added Super because of the Tournament of Power. Not only did Goku fight off against Jiren, which was currently like one of the strongest single people known in
Literally,
existence.
my man had
Yeah,
muscles on muscles.
my man's my man looked at people and they got beaten to shit through a rock. And
He was like Bruce Banner, but in Dragon Ball, he has one form and he goes angry. He got a big ass form.
yeah, like oh my god, Jiren was just different. And seeing
Built
Goku
different, would you say?
built different, assembled uniquely, as some others may say. But if you look at it, you'll see like, oh, Goku's doing these weird things. He's trying to get a ring out. He's trying to, use the stage to his advantage. He even shoots ki out of his feet, which is something we've never seen before until now. And then there's also a scene with Master Roshi giving his life lessons before he almost dies. And those two scenes remind me that Roshi has been his foundation for martial arts to where he was able to train and fight against even the gods of his world. And I think that's about it, unless someone has anything to add.
He was basically there his whole life since birth. In a
Hell,
way,
it
when you
was
think about it.
since he crashed on the planet
Yeah.
He
naked.
was a bit of a father figure since
Oh.
Yeah.
his died so early on too.
You said God
Parents
episode? Or?
literally
Yeah,
Well,
since
here.
both of his
got
parents,
obliterated.
both his parents, and even Uncle Gohan.
His planet.
Yeah.
Just a planet.
Well, he's not aware of his planet. I'd say more Uncle Gohan is the.
Yeah, it's just more Uncle Gohan was his initial parental figure, and then but then Roshi taught him actual martial arts. All right, that's it for me.
All right.
I guess that goes on to me now. Okay, so I
Yeah.
guess I gotta explain now why I thought of this episode. So,
Please
for those
do.
of you who don't know, I have many issues with My Hero Academia, and that's why both the characters I'm talking about
All
are
of
from
it.
the show. No, not all of it, just the main parts of it.
Just
So-
the important parts.
I'll get into more of why I dislike the show when I talk about the Mad Mentor, but for the good mentors, I'm going to bring up Endeavor, aka the asshole at the beginning of the show. And the reason
really
why
dope kid. In my
Yeah.
opinion. He's really dope.
he's really cool. He's an asshole, but he's really cool. So why Endeavor is such a good like figure to look up to in the show is because he starts off as like he's a hero just for attention. He just wants to be it for the celebrity side. And even though he is working to be number one, he's beaten down again and again by the fact that All Might, the number one at the time, is just so much better than him. Because he has no flaws. Because he's literally just Superman. Again, later. But Endeavor is forcing himself to like try harder and harder. And even though he doesn't have the true mentality of a hero, when he is forced to step up to be number one because All Might is put out of commission because of things that happen in the show.
Literally.
At first, he's kind of bitter because he didn't want to get the position that way. He wanted to get it through his own feats, not just because it was handed to him because number one had to step down. But it's because he's put into that number one position that he finally learns what it means to be a hero and like what it means to protect people. And I think that growth shows a lot in him. There's also the whole side plot with his son where he literally his son is just he's trying to like live vicariously through him by like having him become number one in his stead because part of him believes he's never going to be there. But there's so many points in the show where Endeavor is just shown to like, I don't know, what's the best way to explain it? I don't want to say evolve, but I think it's just like he has like breakthroughs as far as like character development.
What, like stepping up as a mentor?
Yeah, like stepping up, just like as
Yeah.
that figure people need to
Like
look up to.
realizing that,
Yeah,
oh, okay,
so, like,
maybe I do need to be better.
I think the best example of this is there's these enemies called Nomus, which are just like, I forget what they actually are. They're just like,
They're amalgamations of different people, I believe.
okay, they're just like, they're really hard to beat. They're just like super soldiers pretty much, but like zombie super soldiers kind of, right?
Yeah.
Without the serum.
Somewhat, yeah.
Super soldiers, don't think of it in the Marvel sense. Think about it as like a literal super soldier.
Yeah. Like created, but not.
You know, there's someone's quirk where you literally touch people and you turn them into Nomu. I forget.
I don't think that was.
Was
I
that
forget who
not
that
it?
was. No, I think they were just like created. I think they were scientific because there's one guy that just disintegrated people by touching them, but I don't think it was that.
Oh.
But this Nomu was like wreaking havoc on a town, and during this whole fight, there's another hero who's I think number 3, because I think Hawk is number 3, who's like going like thinking about how like every other hero would never really try to become number 1. They always thought that All Might would just stay there, and like they were content with just staying at number whatever and just fighting for second place pretty much. But Endeavor was the only one to keep on like trying to beat him. He was the only one who was trying to like pave a way, as hard as it was, as difficult, as like thin as the bridge was. He was trying to like build that bridge to get further. And I think the visual in that episode especially is really powerful because it's literally showing him like making a bridge out of fucking like stones and like with driftwood planks. It's a great episode. And I hate the show. But goddamn, I love Endeavor. He's just so good. That's pretty much it.
I don't know if you said this because I was gone, but like his costume looks like there's a face on his chest. I don't know if you noticed that or if that was just me looking into it.
Yeah.
I think you're just looking into it.
I think you're just looking into it.
I just saw a face. I'm sorry. All right, I'm sorry. You can go.
I just like how his facial hair is just fire.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Oh, that's me. Okay. Oh. All right. So, for my mentor figure, I went with Peter B. Parker from the Spider-Verse movie. He's probably like the most unconventional Spider-Man in that moment. The reason I say this is because he's the sort of middle-aged, out of his prime Spider-Man, because the one who is in his prime dies very early on in the movie, who's supposed to teach Miles. And then,
his midlife crisis, Peter Parker comes out of nowhere.
So this version of Peter is just kind of thrown into the world. And like I said, he's very unconventional, and he has like a tactics and things that he teaches Miles. So he does pull through it for his team and for Miles, but like he's at his lowest at this point because like he's had his divorce with MJ, and his Aunt May died. Like his life has kind of gone to shit because I think he's also broke because he's living in a little apartment as well. Like I said, he's at his lowest, so he's willing to destroy the portal, or like the portal that Fisk is using. Also defeat Fisk and saving the entire multiverse, but at the same time at the cost of erasing himself from his timeline. So like in that moment, you kind of see that he's kind of scared. Well, throughout the movie, also you see he's kind of like looking at this version of Peter and this timeline that like he's perfect and he's not, kind of thing. So he's kind of scared. But he hides it well with his quips, like I guess any other Peter would. So like at this point in like his journey and everything that he teaches Miles, like the very basics of being Spider-Man, like the swinging, the wall crawling, stuff like that. He also teaches him to be his own version of Spider-Man, his own, I guess, style, to go off of, because he would grasp one like to what maybe Spider-Gwen says or Spider-Man Noir, or and he's like, no, like you gotta do you gotta take a leap of faith. And so he uses also those words back at Peter B. Parker at the end when he's like, you gotta go home. And like I said, he's scared, so he's like, I don't know if I'm gonna mess it up. Like, how do I know? Or I'm gonna be okay? And he says, you won't.
It's a leap of faith.
It's a leap of faith. So it's like throughout the story, at the same time while teaching Miles how to be, like how to, I guess, the basics of Spider-Man, he also regains his own confidence and teaches the leap of faith line to him, and also Miles to him, like Peter again. So like he goes back to his dimension to try to rebuild his life, and I guess he also attempts to, we don't see it, but he attempts to come back and rebuild his life with MJ as well. So like, I just like how it's not the Spider-Man Prime that we follow, because in the trailers I think that's what like it was meant to be that. Well, I don't think we knew that the original Peter Parker died, but it was like, yeah, this version of Spider-Man is not his prime version of Spider-Man. I just like how it wasn't that version of Spider-Man, just because like you see everything that he's gone through, and like what else does he have to lose? But like, no, he can come back and rebuild and I guess do better in his life. I don't know, that's it for me. I was just thinking about this the other day too.
It was definitely a good movie. It definitely has a lot of, call it, like,
because I mean, like, yeah, there's other mentor figures in that. Yeah, say like Gwen, or like I said, Spider-Man Noir, all the other Spider people, but like this one in particular just stands out because he's not in his prime.
He's literally basically the dad of the group.
Yo, characters not being perfect. That's a pog
for me.
All right, so that's it for me. So
my mentor. All right, so for my mentor, instead of I decided to go with Bunta Fujiwara, aka Takumi-san, aka from one of my favorite animes, Initial D. Bunta is Takumi's father. Before Takumi was born, he was really into racing his car and all that, and he spent years, like when I say years, basically his whole life, building up his car, modifying it.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yeah, his dad. Now, at around age 11, all right, 11 years old, this motherfucker said, hey, if you're going to be living in my house, you're going to have to work. And by work, he means he has to learn how to drive. I'm talking about Takumi right now. How to drive the car, deliver tofu, come back home, and go to school, and do that all over every day. It sounds pretty shitty, right? But the reason why I think he's in my opinion, a really good mentor is because of the way he basically put that into Takumi's mind, because Takumi's probably one of the best like street racers in the show. At first, Takumi didn't really think of street racing as that. He just did it as like a chore, to help his dad out with the job and all that. Delivering tofu up the mountain every morning, every single day, and that's it. Until things happen, blah blah blah. Takumi knows nothing about cars whatsoever, nothing about drifting, all that. Only basically drives down one mountain pass his whole life until things happen. And when events start happening in Takumi's life, when he's got to learn how to, drift, he's got to learn how to race, when all these people find out he's amazing, he goes to one person, which is his dad, asking him advice about what car is this, is there a chance for me beating it? If so, what can I do? Blah, blah, blah. But like, his dad already knows he's going to win. He doesn't give him much advice because since age 11, for 5 years, from age 11 to 16, he just told his son to just drive down that mountain pass every single day, and then
It's also from memory. That's like a very narrow spot, right?
yeah, very skinny lanes for just
Yeah.
it's basically a two-way intersection. So, and the fact that he goes down the road at least 80 miles per hour. I forgot how the conversion works, a kilometer to miles. I think it's like either 60 or 80. But like going down that fast, delivering tofu, which is very fragile, and then especially at a very young age, having to do that with a big responsibility of like, thinking you're gonna die in a car and your dad's at home sleeping, you know. But it's just his father being it's like the tough love type of thing.
So
Yeah.
he just taught him like, oh, he knows about driving and all that, even
Yeah,
the
but
drifting.
Yeah,
Or okay.
yeah. Taught him, and then he had to like just learn after that.
I haven't finished it, but I know at the beginning, like, there was like this guy looking for who the best guy, the best driver was. And he's like,
Yeah,
oh, it's this particular car, and he finds it and he sees that it's this it's parked next to
tofu
like
chop. Yeah,
yeah. He's like, oh, you gotta teach me,
yeah. I know what scene. I know which episode I'm talking about too.
It's like 3 or something, I don't remember.
Yeah,
That's like, and then like yeah, like I don't know if he was this like renowned guy, like very famous guy, like by his name or just by his car.
both.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Okay.
like once you know the car, then you know the person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of how it works in that show. Like, oh, you drive that car. Oh, you must be this person. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
And like, what you want? What's popping? Do I go straight into like,
Your other
my
one?
bad mentor now? Because I'm the first one up. Is that
Are
how it's
you
gonna
all
work?
set? Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so.
All
Well, I
right.
guess we're going into the bad mentor figures now. In reverse.
I'm
Let's
up
go.
first.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Negativity.
So this one's very controversial depending on how you feel about it, But my bad mentor I decided to go with was Obi-Wan Kenobi. And this is the Obi-Wan during the Clone Wars era. And now, hear me out. All right? Hear me out. The reason why I think he's a bad mentor, he's a great character. Phenomenal. I love Obi-Wan as a character. Especially whoever plays him or voice actor, blah, blah, you know that. But he's a bad mentor because growing up, Anakin didn't have a dad. He lacked that father figure. My eyes, Qui-Gon would have been that father figure. You feel me? But instead, he got, yeeted off from freaking, the Earth, not Earth, but the planets, because Darth Maul basically said, reverse
it was
card, I'm going
Naboo.
to kill you. And then, Qui-Gon put the biggest, like, what's the word? I guess job? I don't know. Yeah, biggest job on Obi-Wan's life was basically to take care of this youngling, right? He didn't really treat him as father. They were like brothers, older brother, younger brother type of relationship, love, hate sometimes, they fight, argue, but at the end of the day, they love each other. You feel me? Now, it's, like I said, a bad mentor because, Anakin lacked that father figure he wanted in his life and needed. And you know where he found that from? From freaking Palpy, man. Good old Palpy. And that's why, Anakin fell down that dark hole in my eyes, blah, blah, blah. We see how the movie goes.
I mean, he's a bad mentor figure too. What you mean?
Oh, yeah, but he's because he's physically bad of a character. But I'm talking about like I want like I'm trying to see bad in someone good.
Yeah, but he literally killed all of his proteges. So like, that's. I know he's a bad guy, but he's like, he's a terrible
Just because he
mentor.
bad guy does mean he bad guy.
He bad guy.
But he
Where's
is,
that
though.
from?
Wreck-It Ralph.
What is wrong with you, you uncultured swine?
Thank you, Eric. That was Zangief. Come on.
God.
Yo,
And
just
Street Fighter.
Tekken?
Yo, Tekken?
And then there's this one we didn't get to see it because season 7 had to be cut short, blah blah blah. There's an unfinished episode. Dan knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I
where
know.
they're on this planet, have a campfire, and they can't think about Ahsoka, saying how you know,
Yeah.
he failed her, blah blah blah. And then Anakin is talking to Obi-Wan saying, "What if I failed you?" Obi-Wan's like, "I don't need to worry about that because he would never fail me." And then later, literally,
He's like, luckily, that's never gonna happen.
yeah, like next month, he literally did fail him, thinking he could win when he has a high ground, dumbass. But yeah,
Rash.
I think yeah, that's my
Portable
opinion.
high ground.
Good character, but bad mentor is Obi-Wan in mind.
I mean, you can also say he's a bad mentor to Anakin, but you have to admit he's good to Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's not the it's at that point it's really not like
It's- when
his
you think
teachings are fine. It's just more like the direction for the apprentice was not a it's like not a
also-
good choice.
pretty sure Anakin was his first Padawan too.
I mean,
So
yeah,
it's
he
yeah,
was-
me
he didn't
well
have any-
at the
wasn't
time
a
when he was a Padawan, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
I don't know why. Like, I understand, like, it's Qui-Gon's dying wish. I don't know why they were like, the council was like, yeah, I think this is a good idea. Like, why weren't they like, no, you're not you're unfit to be.
No, you're a little child.
Like, you're not. I don't even know if he was a Padawan because he still had like the hair braided. So he's like, you're not even a Jedi Knight. We definitely should not trust you to be a master, to specifically a grown child, because I think they're supposed to be trained young, not like Anakin's age. It's just kind of like
around his age is when he's like they're still with like Yoda or something like that in the temple doing like small little training.
yeah, no,
stuff.
I mean you can, yeah, but like it's the purpose of like when you're a Padawan, you're supposed to be trained
by
earlier,
someone,
not like
and someone more.
yeah, because at that age, I think Anakin was a little older. I mean, you can make the argument that Luke was like 20 years old or whatever, but that's not that's not relevant right now.
Yeah, we can talk about his bitch ass. We talk about his dad's bitch ass. Got him.
Alright, you're
I'll be
late
here all
on
week.
Star Wars. Let's go.
I'm done with Obi. Stand you up. Let's hear
Okay.
Eric rant now.
I'm sure he's gonna rebuttal right now. So Eric, you want to rebuttal before I even say it? Or
I'm
you
not
wanna
saying
give me a
nothing. What are you
chance?
talking about?
Okay, so I'm talking about
Trash.
yeah, Jonathan
Trash.
Kent from Man of Steel.
It's fucking trash. It makes no sense. Go ahead.
No, explain to me why.
I want to hear your reasoning first, and then you can hear my rebuttal. So go ahead.
Okay, well, look, I
Trash.
thought about this because I was rewatching Man of Steel 2 days ago, and I was like, he's not a bad mentor figure necessarily, like the character Jonathan Kent, but in Man of Steel in particular, he's just written really weirdly because he's saying yes and no at the same time. So like look, one of my favorite moments from Man of Steel is when like Clark is learning about like his where he came from and like where he was found and the pod and everything, and he just turns to Jonathan Kent and he's like, can I just keep pretending I'm your son? And then Jonathan Kent responds with, you are my son, and he goes and hugs him, and I'm like, that moment is just beautiful. I love that moment so much. And like it was in the trailer and like when it first came out, but I was like just really I really liked that moment. I just saw the gif. So yeah, I like that moment a lot, but at the same time it just feels like Jonathan doesn't really roll with those words afterwards, like him saying that like he was sent there for a reason, blah blah blah, right? Because like at the same time he's like, he tells him to like stay hidden because the world won't really like know what's going on.
They won't know how to
So-
react to him.
Yeah,
Being-
right. So like here's the thing.
Or-
The original Superman, like the 70s Superman, has a very similar line of dialogue where he says you were sent here for a reason. But in that moment he's talking to Clark because he's like, oh, I can do so much more with these powers. I can play football or, be the quarterback or whatever. But he's like, no. you can be sure you can do those things, but you weren't sent here to score a touchdown. You were sent here for something. I don't know what it is, but you have a purpose. And like moments later, he dies of a heart attack, and there Clark learns that he can't save everyone. He couldn't save him, but even though he's this powerful character. So it's weird because like in Man of Steel, he basically just tells him like, yeah, just hide because everyone's gonna be afraid of you. Just they won't understand you. So just don't even save anyone, kind of thing. Like it's just kind of weird. He didn't say that specifically, but just the words. Earlier when he was like, "Should I have let them die?" He's like, "Yeah, maybe." I don't know, something like that. Because I don't know. What are you gonna say, Eric? Because at this point, I've run out of what I was gonna say.
I'm waiting for you to finish.
I'm done. What are you gonna say?
All right, before I start, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. This is top 5, maybe top 2 movies that I watch all the time, maybe a couple times a year, blah, 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 all that. Dan, he literally died in the next movie because he came out as Superman when he told him in this one, the world's not ready for you yet, son. I understand you can save people, but they're not ready. He died in Batman versus Superman because the world was not ready. Then in Justice League, they realized, oh, we need you now because the world is ready. Because we're idiots and there are people here that are coming to kill us because, you were here. So, like, what you're saying...
I'm just saying the way Superman results,
sense.
right? The way his result is as Superman. I think it's just his words weren't correct. I'm not saying it would have been better if he was like like I said, the original Jonathan Kent. He was like, he didn't tell him like, yeah, hide. I'm not saying, look, you're taking into account also like the movies afterwards. I'm talking about just Man of Steel in particular, disregarding the other ones because at the time when this movie came out, it was just a standalone thing. I understand where you're coming from. Of course I didn't like. Of course I thought about it, but I'm just saying also his death, the tornado sequence that you sent.
Yeah,
I think it's just very.
Okay, rebuttal here. I'm gonna say that since there are sequels, you should take them into account because at this point in time, like that's how the character has evolved.
Okay,
so just disregarding that is kind of just like disregarding.
Well, he's in Batman v Superman as well, but for like I don't even think his dialogue in that is great either.
Well, no, it's not even that. But Eric, what Eric said made a lot of sense about them not being ready for him. I think that point alone kind of does help to show that there's something to Eric's anger.
I just think the what happened was that Zack Snyder kind of just didn't know how to go about using Jonathan Kent and just brought on his cooler dad figure, which would be his Kryptonian dad. But the thing is they both kind of just leave and die.
They both flopped.
Yeah. I'm just saying that even Superman doesn't really have a clear direction of what to do or where to go, even beyond Jonathan Kent, his Kryptonian dad, or even Martha Kent. Because in Batman v Superman, Martha also kind of takes that role of Jonathan Kent.
She tells whatever. Him, you don't have to save these people, but if that's what you want to do, it's okay. You're human now. You've been raised by humans. Your father wanted you to do something bigger, who is Jor-El. Your other father, Jonathan, it didn't matter. You don't owe this world anything. It's all up to you. And Superman's like, well, okay, I'm a good person. Like, I want to help people. So, like, what do you mean? They're telling him that you don't have to be a savior, but if you want to, that's okay too.
Maybe it's just the way I just looked at it. It just kind of felt like do whatever, like I don't care, kind of thing.
I'm gonna support you no matter what. They're your parents, but like they're telling you, you don't owe anybody anything.
Eric's so passionate. I love it.
Bro, I've seen this movie so many times, and I understand the story and the stories that follow. You know, he's the Jesus Christ character. That's all it's depicting. That's it. He's the savior. Motherfuckers don't want to be saved. Motherfuckers want to be saved. It's up to him to choose if he's going to save them or not. That's it.
We can move on. I literally have nothing else to say. This is basically Eric's part 2.
No, it's not. It's my reasoning for he's not bad. I couldn't argue with anybody else's bad. Well, because I don't know Lenny's. Lenny's out of here. But like, no, Dan. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry.
I think I was the only one here that watched Mob Psycho.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Did you watch Mob Psycho?
Yeah, not all of it, but I've watched like
God damn it.
a good half of the first season. I need to finish it.
So I watched both seasons. Keep going.
All right, Tones, you're up.
Yeah. I'm dying.
That was so interesting.
But between dying, hey, so as I said before, my hero, am I right, guys? Fuck All Might. He sucks. So,
Terrible.
as I've also stated before, I hate the Superman archetype of where he's perfect and has no flaws. And, like, you know, that's just the character.
Which is why we like Man of Steel.
Exactly.
Okay, that's all
saying
I
I don't
say.
like. Dude, I'm not saying I don't like the movie. I just said I don't.
This is my point. Shut up. You guys already argued. It's over. Okay. But All Might fucking. So let me just say the first like part of my hero, how it opens. Main character Deku sees his not even friend, somebody that bullies him, getting attacked by a villain, and as someone with no quirk, he decides to run in with no plan whatsoever, putting himself in danger with the mindset of I'm going to save him, when in actuality he's just being suicidal. There's nothing to it besides just being suicidal. It's not heroic to go out of your way to make it harder to remedy the situation. He's making the situation harder. However, All Might says, you know what? I like your style, kid. You're going to be my successor. It doesn't make any sense. The only reason why he liked him was because he was quirkless and wanted to be a hero, which was how All Might was. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know all of All Might's backstory because I haven't read a lot of the manga, and I want to, just so I can see edgy Deku killing people for no reason. But it just doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, why the fuck does this guy, who's supposed to be like shoulder the fucking entirety of the world, do something so irresponsible? That's all I can say, because like and also there's another character who was supposed to get his power named Mirio, who is just a better character, straight up, just better than Deku in every way possible. Attitude, like talent, effort, everything. He's just better. He's just cooler. We just like him more. You cannot say that you like Deku more than Mirio, because you're wrong. It is not subjective. It's objective. That is how this works.
So this has turned into a shitting on Deku episode.
Yeah, it's because he chose the bitch baby. But the fact that All Might does this, it just shows how like I said, he's just irresponsible. Like he just thinks with, when you're in a position like that, you can't think with your heart. You have to think with your brain. And and everything in the show goes wrong because he thinks with his heart, not with his brain. He got really desperate and he just did whatever because he was losing his powers, and he did something that was stupid by giving his powers to Deku when he already had someone else lined up. I just don't get it. The show doesn't make any sense. It could have just been about Mirio, but it's not.
It could have been so cool.
Or any other 100 side characters that have way better story arcs in that show.
Fucking Totoro. I want a Todoroki spin-off show.
Like realistically,
okay. No, like honestly, like I want a Hawks like sides thing because like Hawksley's like the number 3 hero who's just cool. He literally he becomes like an undercover like supervillain. Like you know how cops do that where they like, go undercover.
That's
Like,
dope.
yeah, he just goes undercover. Like it's cool. It's a great arc.
Like you
The
thought.
show is great when it doesn't focus on Deku. That's how you know that's where my problems lie with this character. He believes so much in a character that just shouldn't be cared for. I just hate it so much. And besides that, he's like, God, he's just too perfect. And I get that I'm gonna say this because I know people make this argument where like I was saying, like he's losing his powers. So like every time he uses it, he's like losing more and more of his powers. And I get that part is heroic about him.
But
he can be smarter about the future, which he's not smart about at all.
I don't think he's
And
not
that's
smart.
my problem with All Might is he's just really fucking irresponsible.
He's the Batman of the My Hero universe.
No, he's
Realistically.
Superman.
No,
He's
Batman
worse.
had some terrible sidekicks that he turned to his successors that shit went terribly wrong.
No, nothing's gonna go wrong for Deku. The only thing something went wrong for Mirio. Because again, Mirio's a better hero. He cares more about people.
That's the problem. Mirio was supposed to be the psychic, and then he wasn't made the psychic.
Mirio lost his powers trying to save someone. And even when he lost his powers, he still beat the bad guy in the end because of all the training he did. That's how cool he is. His power sucks too. He just like goes through fucking like he couldn't control it. He would just like go through like the floor and like walls. It didn't become good until he made it good. That's a cool character. Where your power is useless until you make it like OP. And now everybody's like, oh shit, this guy's like super cool. I want to be like him. Not Deku, who's like biggest fucking hill is, hey, instead of punching, I'm gonna kick.
I hate that.
Dude,
Such a bad.
They said you need to do your own thing. You need to not be All Might. And then at the end of the episode, he's like, I can kick things.
I'm gonna kick, but I'm still gonna call it Detroit Smash.
Delaware Smash. That shit made me mad.
I was upset. I was like, he could.
I hate him so much. I hate both of them so much. Okay, I'm done. I'm getting angry now. God, we need to wrap this up. I got ice cream in the fridge.
Oh god. Oh, it's my turn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This one I'm not really that mad about. It's just that I find it funny that he's just a bad person at first. Reagan, Arataka from Mob Psycho, he is I forget what they call him because I'm fucking dumb. An exorcist. He is an exorcist. So he would go to people's homes, he would exorcise ghosts and all that. And I want to say he was mostly legitimate, but there's points where he like did a few things, took some money and walked off. It's basically what the vibe I got from him. But then a kid walks up to him, and the kid's like, I forget what exactly happened, but he found out the kid had powers, psychic powers. And using that, he was able to use the kid to defeat ghosts. Now, whether you say this is good or not, he basically used the kid to do his job. And at the first episode, he was trying to exorcise a ghost, which he knows how to get ghosts out of hiding and knows how to attract them. But when the ghost came, he accidentally bought table salt instead of pure salt. And
There's a
doing
difference of salts.
yes, pure salt. Pure salts have more effect on spirits and whatnot. So when you do table salt the ghost, it was kind of like he's not that professional, nor is he that reliable. So he ends up calling Mob, which is the kid's name. That's the psychic. Mob literally comes in, looks at the ghost and deletes it.
Oh, okay.
So Mob kind of just does his job better. Mob, after a while, does get conscious of the fact that Reagan is just using him. But there's a point where he looks up to Reagan as someone that knows that his power shouldn't be misused, even though Reagan is using it basically for profit. It's at least a way for him to one, practice his powers, and two, make sure that he's not using it for evil or selfish things. So, like, to a degree, Reagan is an okay mentor, but the methods he uses kind of like, hey, don't use it for this. By the way, do this job for me, kind of thing. It's weird because
See,
he's not.
if I watched it, I feel like I would understand more.
Yeah, but only Antonio watched it.
That's what I'm saying.
He's such.
I
Reagan's
think
such
that's
a
why my
weird character.
mind's trying to.
Reagan does
What is the
become a
mind?
better mentor.
Is that Mob Psycho?
Mob Psycho 100. There is 2 seasons now, and he does get better at the end of the first season because he's so like Mob like power of like caring to the point where Mob actually gave Reagan some of his powers to defeat like the enemy at the end. But yeah, Reagan kind of just uses Mob. That's like my main point. I'm not gonna lie. He uses Mob. Gets better after a while. I'll admit he doesn't become the worst mentor, but he's pretty bad at this.
It's 2 seasons in a movie, or I think it's
Yeah.
a movie.
I think it's a movie. I forget.
It's an hour long. I'm guessing it's a movie.
Yeah. I don't think I watched the movie, but I watched the 2 seasons. They're good. But yeah, that's mine. Then. We can go to
right.
the last one.
Yeah.
And
Eric, oh, he's muted.
Yes, I am here. I am back, and I'm here with the real bad mentor. So for mine, I chose Homelander from The Boys. So spoiler warning, I'm telling you right now, if you haven't seen The Boys, season 1 and season 2, mostly season 2, I apologize. Stop listening. You don't get to hear the end of my monologue. So I chose Homelander from season 2 because he finds out at the end of season 1 that he has a son. The way he got trained in the flashbacks was by scientists in a lab. He was literally created to be the perfect hero, all that stuff, laser vision, super strength, flight, all that stuff. His son has laser vision that we found out. So what he does is he pushes his son to unlock other powers that he doesn't even know he has or like can inherit, I guess. The first thing he does is pushes his son off a roof of a house.
Yeah, literally.
Yo,
pushes him off.
Right?
He like yeeted him. He said, "Here you go, son," and pushed him. This man fell off the roof. That's like the worst thing to do. Not know what your son has, any powers. He just like doesn't care about anything up until the point that we know he doesn't care about anyone or anything, and then he just tries to do it his way. It doesn't work. I would say maybe some of the team members of the 7 and like mentoring, but it's kind of flimsy on that because they're already like
Shitty.
their own heroes, and yeah, they're stuck in their ways and they're shitty, so you can't really do that. Maybe like Starlight a little bit mentoring, which after the first season, I don't.
I mean, she had a kind heart.
Yeah,
Like,
no, she's the only one on the 7 that's actually like not psychotic.
No, yeah. I mean, what's his face? Fish guy, the Deep. He tried to turn things around, but
yeah, he was on some shit though. The first
he was on some shit. Season 1, yeah, he was crazy.
That man was a weirdo, and then he like found God, or I mean, I guess that's what they.
No, he found the saucer.
Yeah,
I feel like they took the salsa more than anything.
I feel like that John was like definitely laced. Just saying.
It was.
That's
That's all they kept giving people.
Yeah, you want to try this? You want to try this? Here, have one. Here, have one. I was like, whoa, hey. What else did he do, Brandon, to his son? He was just relentless, right?
He didn't have feelings.
All right, yeah,
he kept pushing
basically.
him and pushing him for him to, like, you know,
Be like
for
him.
it to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it's a bad because Homelander's like, I don't know. He's just a terrible person in general. Like the worst superhero ever, which well,
Weird
besides
as hell, bro.
besides Invincible, but that's another episode.
Drinking breast milk.
Yo, you didn't have to say that.
Was he weird that
He
episode
was.
though? When I first saw
was.
that,
He was. I'm okay with it. You can do whatever you want. No, but I think the way he went about certain things was really bad, and he, especially because that's his son, you know what I mean. And then, hey, he killed who kills what's her name? I don't know which one was it. His son's mom.
oh yeah, she did end up dying, didn't it? It was the lady.
It was her.
Yeah,
the second season?
9,000-year-old lady, the German.
She's not 9,000.
She's old.
She's like
She was doing
100.
around in World War II.
9,000.
She's like 100, bro.
Dude,
She
you
was-
said
She's born in the 20s.
you just said she's around in World
No.
War II. That's not
That one-
9,000.
Yeah.
It's
So
not
I don't know what
many
he's
zeros.
talking about. Yeah.
What?
Like when you said
90.
Yoda was. Yeah, it's like when you said Yoda was 9,000 years old. Why is that the one you gravitate towards?
He's weird.
Close enough, you know, close enough.
No.
No.
Not at all.
Close enough.
Two was in the 40s.
She was born in like the 20s. So she, yeah. I don't know. Brandon, you're really, you're weird.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Because she was like a Nazi.
Yeah.
100.
Yeah. Yeah. So she was like, Brandon, I'm done talking to you. All right.
The
Yeah, that's
oldest
it.
So if that's it for the topic now, I guess it's time to end the show.
Thank God.
You guys have any final thoughts?
Honorable mentions?
No, absolutely
no,
not.
we don't have time.
Absolutely
for
not.
Pretty much all of no.
All right.
That's what sensei.
All right. So, thank you everyone for listening to this episode of the Nerds Be Like podcast. Wherever that may have been, you want to search that up. We're available on every podcast form, like or site, whatever you want to call it.
Network.
Yeah. Well, that's the probably better word. We are also on the YouTube. Subscribe, ding the motherfucking bell. I've been fucking re-listening to shit, so it's in my head too. Also, join our Discord. Like Brandon said, there's been a lot more movement in here recently, and we really appreciate that. Yeah, it's talk about anything, say Loki, for example, or anything else new coming in recently, or anything you want to talk about. Nerdy. Let's see. We also have our social media at Nerds Be Like Pod on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Brandon runs the Instagram, the TikTok. Eric runs the Instagram, and Patty runs the Twitter.
You'll never catch me on TikTok. I apologize.
Help the Twitter out. Help the Twitter out. You know. Follow the
Yeah, give
Twitter.
a
Follow the Twitter.
Yeah, I'll give you a shout. If you follow us on Twitter, I'll retweet you following us. How about that? I'll give you a shout out on Twitter.
There you
That
go.
sound good? There you go.
You already know.
If you want to contact us in a more formal way, we got a Gmail. We got nerdsbelikePod@gmail.com. Questions, comments, concerns, anything like that. Hit us up with a review. Patty will read that out loud in his ASMR form.
If it's 5-star.
Yeah, if it's 5-star. He'll get banned from Twitch.
I can't do it on Twitch. As long as he don't lick your ear, it'll be fine.
Oh god.
No, as long as
Don't
the
say
ears
that.
are farting into the mic.
It'll
Oh
be
my
fine.
god. All right,
You guys are
Brandon.
missing key context, but whatever, it's fine.
Brandon.
Merch.
Yeah.
Like merch or the
We got, I had to restock up on stuff. Hoodies, t-shirts, tank tops, crew necks, long sleeve, baseball tees, stickers, travel mugs. We got skateboards now. Hats.
We mention that every
we have
week.
hats. Do we have hats? No.
I don't know about you, but you know.
This motherfucker.
Yeah, he's really
we
rocking that
have
right
stuff.
now.
Yep. You
Your
don't pay
camera's
attention.
not working.
I know.
You guys can't see Eric. Thank God.
Facts.
Yeah,
we
that's
got,
toxic.
We got all that
That's funny, I
stuff.
like that.
Yeah, and if you're gonna get any of that, link will be in the description down below.
Yes,
Take a picture with your merch.
sir.
Send it to us if you buy anything.
Retweet.
I will
Tweet us
post it
too.
on the Instagram story. Fuck Twitter.
Yeah. Not Patty will retweet or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Patty's not here.
Speaking of links in the description down below, we also have ways to support Palestine as well as supporting Colombia. We also have ways to support communities such as the Asian American communities and the African American communities. And lastly, we have donations for the coronavirus, any of which that we've listed down below. You can donate to, $1, a couple of dollars, whatever you're able to donate will be just A-OK. All right. So next episode, preview for next episode, what will that be? I think it was hinted at already. But we're going to be talking about our favorite composers.
And I'm going to be questionable on this one, and I don't care what y'all say.
I don't know why you're questioning that. I understand exactly what what Tones was referencing earlier in the episode.
And I don't care. It's happening.
Okay.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
We got to fill out the schedule. I'm sorry.
I mean, this is a good topic to go off because we did kind of do this one. Kind of.
Nope. Wasn't here for it.
Like earlier.
You thought?
Anyways, catch you guys for that episode next week. Take care. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.